Hello and welcome to this episode, I believe the fourth episode of Bonus Action, a Duels and Manadorks supplement podcast where we like to interview people in tabletop RPGs and TCGs and all that kind of stuff. We are back with Ivy of the Crit Awards, CEO of the Crit Awards, because we are getting very close to GenCon and very close to the announcement of all the nominations for the categories for the Crit Awards, the Creator Recognition and Tabletop RPG Awards. You'll be able to vote on that very soon. Probably, hopefully by the time this podcast posts, we're playing it by ear. So, Ivy.
Yes.
You can finish. No, don't. No.
You're fine.
No.
You're totally fine. I'm just putting a sword in my hair. Don't bother. Don't bother me.
That's infinitely cooler. Oh yeah, way cooler.
But yeah, what's up?
What's up? How you been? It's been a little while since we last chatted.
It has been a little while. Yeah. Just drowning in spreadsheets. I dream only in spreadsheets. That's what I do now. If ever you have to ask yourselves, I wonder what Ivy dreams about. It's spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets. We were doing a little chat before we started, and spreadsheets is also a part of work life that I'm very glad I don't have to interact with, like, ever. I respect a spreadsheet.
We love a spreadsheet around here.
I just don't like to use them.
That's so valid.
Right? So the first round of voting for all the Crit Award nominations and categories has been done for a little while, like almost a week now.
It's closed, yeah.
Do you have? It's close to a week. Do you know how many votes you've gotten across the board total?
Yeah. So, okay. So here's the thing. We ended with 3,139 individual nominations of like over the 47 categories. So it's that amount times 47, but not every single of those votes like fulfilled every single like went through the list. So it's like this weird thing of like, yeah, you hear that and you think, oh, 3,000 times 47. That's not quite accurate, but it's still a lot. It's been, I know that I myself have been verifying like almost 9,000 individual votes, and so I took on most of like a large chunk of the categories myself. So it's been a lot, quite a few.
So we've got a lot of categories to go through, and we're going to go through every single one in excruciating detail with every single nomination. And
hey, this has been great. I'm gonna. It's
we're going to spend 5 hours on this. Raw, unedited. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. So we don't know all of the nominations quite yet. We're getting a little bit of a jump on this so we can kind of coincide the posting of this. But you do know who some people for some of the bigger categories are. What is probably one of the bigger categories or groups that you would like to talk about?
Ooh, that's a great question. So let me pull up one of my mini spreadsheets, because we've had some really cool ones actually this year. Innovation has been a really cool one to see. Innovation in TTRPGs is always a cool one every year to kind of see like what the new things that have come up over the year have been or how they've changed. So that's a cool one. That goes anywhere from as I have my spreadsheets pulled up, that goes anywhere from like the way that people are like being innovative with their TTRPG streams. Robert Hartley has a TTRPG stream where like the chat gets to interact and gets to play characters, and that's been really cool of like getting to watch some of those. So like that's been neat. There's been a couple of cool ones where like innovation in TTRPGs, obviously it's across all TTRPG space. So Rascal News has come up a couple of times, which is the new TTRPG like news group and journalists that is posting things. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to look at them. They're really cool.
We've been citing them a couple of times on our podcast when we've been talking about various stories going on. They're growing very, very rapidly right now.
They're growing very rapidly. So that's really cool. There's a couple of resources that have come up of, so you want to be a game master, that are really neat. So that's always a cool one to see. That and any of like the new one-page TTRPGs or like silly things like that are always fun because there's a bunch of silly ones every year and it makes me laugh. It's my favorite thing. Let me see, because there was a couple that stuck out that we were joking about a couple of them. Let's see, where are they? Because I love one-page TTRPGs so much. I just ran a Honey Heist one-shot and was like, these are just so much fun.
Honey Heist is a classic.
It's a classic. It was a wild game. I had 4 players and only one of them had ever played before. It was a great time. So yeah. I'm trying to look. I have so many spreadsheets open and so many tabs. I think another important one to kind of bring up and talk about is every year we do the like TTRPG related charity event or community wellness organization or like things like that. And that's really cool that we get to see what people have done the last year of what they're supporting or what they're raising funds for or how they're putting together new events for TTRPGs. We had a lot of nominations in that one, which is really cool. It's really hard to narrow down. Even with like the criteria we have in place, because all of them are so unique and so cool to look at. A lot of Extra Life events, Wounded Warrior Project, like Streaming for Survivors, Rolling for Good is a really cool one because they're in the UK. And so it's nice to see the diversity across, like not only the States, but also elsewhere, which is the whole goal in the first place. So yeah, those have been kind of like the ones that stuck out a little bit. They're cool.
Nice. So, oh gosh, oh my. There's what, 47 different categories. The Gambit, it's all it's all over the place. There's so many different categories and a lot of very, very interesting ones too. We like how you've broken them up a lot of categories based on games specifically, in terms of best of their games of the year. That little section really helps kind of organize it a whole lot. And when when we went and we voted for some as well, and it was like I don't know anyone that's doing anything with Chaosium. I don't. So, like, in terms of voting that you've seen so far, are there any specific categories that have been receiving a lot more nominations so far?
Every year there is, and it's not a bad thing at all. It's just that D&D is so much so large in the TTRPG space, where a lot of the like best DM category or like best DM like D&D player categories, those ones normally see the large majority of votes, and that's kind of continued this year of what has the most, just because everyone plays D&D. It's easy to get into. It's pretty accessible. Everything else obviously is getting to that point, but for ease of use, that's kind of where that's been. But I know that there was something. Podcast actually was seeing a lot of growth this year, which was really cool. A lot of people getting into the podcast side of it. So we got to see a large majority of growth in that one, which was neat. I think something important to mention is that last year in the secondary round, like our second round had finalists voting, we ended with 1,286 votes, like in the secondary round. So in the first round of nominations, we have doubled, like just as our first categories. So we've had a monumental amount of growth across the board, but that is a massive part.
I imagine based on last year, you guys had more votes in that secondary round after nominations are set than you did originally too. So would you expect even more votes once you have set the nominations in? More spreadsheets?
I'm fully expecting more spreadsheets. I am absolutely ready for more spreadsheets, which is really exciting at the same time as nerve-wracking and overwhelming at times, because it's really cool to see that so many people want like the recognition for these creators that have worked so hard in this space. So it's excellent. It's amazing, but also incredibly stressful for my board as we try narrowing it down and work through all those spreadsheets. But we're excited about it. We still have maintained a level of excitement even with half our board being sick. So it's great.
Yeah. No one could tell.
No, not at all. What? No.
What?
What? Huh? Who told you?
So
God.
I felt like that was a little bit mean-spirited, but I just kind of had to.
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry. Totally. So on the last podcast, we talked a lot about the qualifications, like what specifically the groups of people or the creators that can be nominated. You exclude obviously some larger union ones like your Critical Role, your Dimension 20, your big ones. But since the last time we talked, I believe you've added your clause about AI generated content and how you're just kind of putting a whole nope across the board in that context. And I want to pick your brain a little bit about AI. We've talked a lot about AI on the podcast because Wizards of the Coast just can't.
Between them having artists create magic art or advertisements, or even recently we talked about how they've put out an AI art engineer or an AI generative engineer for their video game division.
Yeah, they have a job posting for that, so they're looking even more into that. Do you see a future where AI generative art, depending on how it is generated, or if there are ethical ways to go about it?
Yeah, I think part of why we had to implement the AI art rule was one, we love our artists, first of all. Our board is comprised of artists that work very hard at their craft. And we want to acknowledge and recognize the people in the TTRPG space who are putting in that effort to do so. If it were to change in the future, if there was an ethical way or it's not taking from those creators and things like that, if it changes, then we'll look at changing our policy. But at the moment, we have to enforce that we cannot do AI art because it would be kind of a disservice to those in the space who work so hard. We have you may have seen that we announced our theme officially with a piece of artwork.
Yes.
And which is wonderful. The person who did it, her name's Jackie. She's wonderful. She is a webtoon artist, but in addition, she made our little Call of Cthulhu girl, and she's adorable. But I couldn't get that same style from something that was AI. Like, having artists making something unique for us is really important, but also just making sure that we are respecting the craft. I cannot draw at all. I am not an artist. I can't do it. I just don't understand it. I've tried. I am not good. I can do stick figures and like a little like single line little spoopy ghost, but that's about it. So it's something of, yeah, if it were to become ethical or something that artists started utilizing more, then we would look at it. But as of this year, we just absolutely not. It was something that all of our board unanimously agreed that we're not about AI.
Very reasonably. So you did mention this year's theme for the Crit Awards, and we know it, but for those at home, could you go through and explain what this theme is a little bit?
Absolutely, I will. Our theme this year is glitz, glam, and great old ones, because we really wanted to lean into a type of like fun, unique theme that could be interpreted in a lot of different ways. And glitz, glam, and great old one not only has the vibe of something expensive and like that award show kind of feel, but great old ones, because one of our sponsors that we're actively working with is Chaosium. And Chaosium is wonderful. They're great. A lot of the Cthulhu and Lovecraftian type of lore, so we included that. Among like our other sponsors of like Start Playing Games and obviously you two, and Foreteller Games is another one. And so we are everyone's kind of leaning hard into that expensive Lovecraftian type of lore. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait. I will tell you a little secret of who's doing our music for Foreteller. So Foreteller Games is great. They have a lot of amazing musicians and voice actors and things like that. But the person who is helping to create this type of Lovecraftian Art Deco style sound is AJ, who is the bassist from the rock metal band State of Decay. So AJ is I will have to find the exact way it was phrased to me of what this man was going to create, because it was really funny. It was, I guess I better go invent non-Euclidean jazz. That was what AJ said about it. Yeah, so that's what he's working on for us.
So triangles with more than 3 sides floating in a
exactly.
And
it's all going to be like jazzy and kind of So I don't know if you know this about Sam and I, but we in a past life. It's been a while since
the world had to end.
The world did end for a couple years, and it kind of cut off our ability to do this. But we met through swing dancing, and I don't know what you know about swing dancing, but a nice little jazzy little kind of like roaring 20s vibe style music is right up that alley. We
funny.
also did both learn how to lead and follow.
Yeah.
So get enough libations in us and some non-Euclidean jazz. We might be busting out some moves.
Oh, this is gonna be such a fun event.
Develop non-Euclidean swing out.
Non-Euclidean swing out. We need to talk to some of our swing dancing friends to get that that figured out, because I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I don't know, but you know what? We're asking AJ from State of Decay what that means. Like, we'll see what he creates and we'll go off that.
That is wild. That's big.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to be working with him. I'm a huge metalhead, anyways. Shocking, I know. So I'm very excited to be working.
I never would have guessed. Not once.
No, not at all. You look at my Instagram, like all of the concert pics from me going solo to different concerts. Like, no, that can't be right.
Yeah, my partner, she's also a very big metalhead, and the metal community, a very wonderful community on the by and large, I would say. Very cool.
Hard agree.
Very cool. So, how many tentacles should we make Sam's outfit?
Ooh,
like how many
is too many?
I've never asked myself that question, to be honest with you.
How many
tentacles on my outfit is too many tentacles on my outfit?
I mean, I feel like we could do something with like upholstery foam and like the armature wire that they do for Yeah. We could do something. We could make you Doc Ock. But just tentacles instead of like the metallic one. Anyway, that's a whole other side tangent completely.
That's going to be like the behind the scenes of like this podcast of us just trying to figure out these tentacles. Yeah.
The backstage. We just video call you and you're like, help, I don't know how to use the upholstery.
PVA foam just wrapped around one of us, holding us in the background.
I'll be like, oh, sorry, they're calling me in a panic. I have to help them. Like,
put down your spreadsheets. We need help.
One of my support specialists is a costume designer for theater, so I'll just call her. We'll conference her in. Like, it'll be great.
The tentacles have actually grown to take a mind of their own. They too are now non-Euclidean.
Just jazz in the background, really loudly. Like,
hold on, I need to make a note of jazz tentacles real quick.
Perfect.
That's gonna come up in some non-subtle way in the future.
I love that.
I completely lost the thread here entirely.
We're talking about the theme.
We're talking about the Crit Awards at some point.
Yeah. Okay, so this all started with State of Decay, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you did hint at some possible other little secrets. I don't know what else we're allowed to spoil here. Possibly announce for the world, but
a couple other little secrets. So we have a couple of amazing sponsors that we're working with, in addition to like who I've previously mentioned. But there is a company that they're wonderful. And they are going to be making us a fun little thing. So Bookworm Games is a company that is based here out of Canada. Their name, like, Michael is wonderful. If you ever get the chance to interact with them, they are great. But they are custom making us some Crit Awards coins that are very Lovecraftian inspired as well. So that's going to be a cool thing. We have somebody that has done some additional art that I'm very excited about. Very cute pieces of artwork that we'll be putting out into the world very soon. So yeah, there's a couple of little things that we're super excited about posting about.
And you did mention the last time we sat down to talk about how you want to do like rotating merch from year to year, kind of make it a collectible thing. Have you narrowed in more that you're allowed to say?
So I have 300 D6s sitting up on my shelf. So there's that. The coins is another one that we are kind of making a collectible thing. All of our art from this year will be a collectible thing because we are going to be doing a highlighted artist. I guess I can say who it is now because like it's finished. So Andre Riviera Art is who our highlighted artist is going to be this year. They have done some some really cool pieces. So yeah, Andre is our artist this year. We're super excited to be working with them because they're wonderful. If you ever get the chance to see any of their performances on TTRPGs or anything like that, like please give them a look because they're great. But their art is finished and we'll be posting about that very soon as well. So you just have to keep an eye out for it.
Exciting.
Yeah, so.
All right. Do you want to circle back into...
Yeah, we've gone like side tangent into side tangent into a side tangent about side tangents, so...
We're TTRPG nerds. What are you talking about? That's what we do.
Very, very true. That's very true.
Getting back to... I guess, was there anything so far that you've seen... Again, you've said that there's just been so much outpouring of votes, and you're still going through things. Your whole team is going through things. Is there anything you would like to highlight that's been interesting to see so far, or that you're excited to see so far from these initial results?
It's a great question. It's so interesting. And this is not to out anyone, so I hope this doesn't attack anybody. However,
yes, it's fine.
The amount of people who don't read has been something that every year just absolutely kills me. Absolutely, every single year, because we try to make it pretty accessible of having the read-only document and then reiterating certain voting things on the forum. And I still don't understand how people have missed massive things. You cannot link us a Discord message, and the amount of Discord messages that we have had linked that we're not in these Discords, or two, I have no idea who this person is. This is a Discord message link. This does nothing. It's been insane to me. I don't know why this is a thing, but for the future, don't do that. It doesn't tell us shit. We can't look at anything. So that's been a new one this year of having a weird amount of Discord messages that people have tried linking to. I don't know why that's a thing, but yeah.
It's a fascinating behavior.
That doesn't even come across my mind when.
No.
Nope, not at all. But so that's just been a random one that a bunch of us are dealing with in a bunch of our categories.
Are they at least Discord messages about to or from creators?
We don't know. That's the thing. We can't even look. It's just here's a Discord message link. That's it. Which has been wild to experience. Yep. that are linking us to Twitch videos, and Twitch only stays up for so long, which is why we're you have to also include social media links. Or the other one that has bewildered and baffled me a little bit is the people who just don't send a link at all, or don't give a social media handle, or just give us a first name. We are just supposed to know by vibe what the name of this person is. It's very interesting to try
Ed
to go
is
through these
real good at playing a
Ed's so cool.
Dude.
Wow, he's so cool.
Chris as a GM, phenomenal. They're
Amazing.
phenomenal.
I want you to know, when you said Chris, my immediate thought is I thought of 3 different Chris's, in a row of Chris, these Chris's. Yep, they're all great DMs. Which one?
Chris, I like. Okay, so the again, we're going on a complete tangent here, but the names specifically that could be male, female, or anything else, and just no hints whatsoever at what this person might be entirely.
No, because going off that, the 3 different Chris's I thought of was one non-binary, one he, and one she. That's why I was the
entire spectrum represented.
The gambit.
The gambit.
The gambit. So that's been one thing where I'm just putting it out there. Maybe next year, please read. Just maybe. Something that always makes me really excited is when I come across a TTRPG or a group of AP creators that I don't know. That's always a fun one where I'm like, ooh, who is this person that I have never heard of before? That's always something that makes me really excited, because that's how I learn new things too. Where most of the time I'm pretty well versed with the people in the space of just like even passively. So when I see a new system or something like that that really is new that I've never seen before, those are the types of thing that makes me really excited. Let me see, like a couple examples, like Psychic Trash Detectives was a TTRPG that came across my 9 nominations that I hadn't seen before, where I was like, what is this ridiculous game where you get to play as raccoons and you're psychic detectives? So that's fun. Things like that.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
It seems like a very niche audience, but I feel like the overlap of that audience and the kind of people who would be voting for this is basically just like that Venn diagram is a circle.
Like it was a massive Kickstarter that somehow I didn't see it. I was like, this is amazing. How did I miss this? So things like that make it really cool. Like, you always will get the games that you're familiar with of like Lancer or Mothership, which I've seen. But then you get these new games that you have no idea about, like Swords and Wizardry was a cool one that kind of came up of. It was a retro clone of the original 1974 rules for Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, this is neat. How did I not see this particular thing?
Is it like a filter of the rules? So it's like not exactly the same?
Yeah, it's just a recloning of it, like a retro clone of it. It's cool. Okay. But like that, the narrative universe came up a couple times, which is really cool. Which is a newer system that's really neat, and I've watched that one grow to the point it is. Hypermall was another cool one that I hadn't seen before. So those are the types of things that I get really excited about. Was the things that maybe I don't know about or I've gotten to watch it grow to this. Those are cool. So yeah.
So let's talk about the award show itself now. You can get if you are listening to this, I do believe there's still plenty of tickets available for GenCon if you are going to GenCon. I know I was able to get mine. We were able to get ours. So
I don't know. We were selling very quickly. We sold over 100 tickets in the first 14 hours.
That's very good.
Yes, which
there's really a lot of events at GenCon that would kill to get 100 tickets sold.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually really proud of one of my I'm proud of all of my staff, but one of my staff members is doing a panel, their first one that they've ever put on, and they're doing minority representation in TTRPGs. They've barely advertised for it, and they've sold over half their tickets, and I'm very proud of them. It's going to be a great panel. I'm super excited for them. But yeah. So yeah, the actual event itself.
There should be tickets available, hopefully. I might be lying to your face by the time this podcast is live, but
we'll see.
Can always camp outside of the doors and
have
generic
in the lobby
tickets. It's fine.
Beat up people as they come in and take their tickets.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say see if there's an opening and then hand over a couple generic tickets to get entry.
I chose violence.
I chose bribery. You guys can try bribing me. It's fine. We have to have a spectrum.
Everything needs to be a spectrum. Like I have said for a very long time that I am more than happy to sell out as a creator. You want to give me a lot of money and have a halfway decent product? Have at it. Sure.
It depends on what I'm bribed with. Like I don't know what it would take to bribe me or what they wanted. Like it would depend. Like we'll see.
Entry to the crit awards.
What's the
minimum bribe level?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And what's the appropriate bribe method? Should it be in the palm of their hand when they go to shake your hand? What
handshake?
Are we talking? Should we just put out your routing number just in case?
Yeah, right. Just my PayPal is in my link tree. Just like send me money. It's fine.
Easy.
Just label it bribe. I'll know what you're talking about.
Crit awards bribe for entry.
Blackmail ?
Blackmail? I think it would depend on who it is. It did come in a black letter. Like, it would depend on like who it is. Like, am I getting bribed with dice? Like, what is the like? It just depends. It's a barter system. It's a barter system of bribes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Work with that.
So on the scale, obviously, like in terms of dice, at the very least, you're gonna have like your Chessex,
Yeah, of
kind of your
course.
bog standard. Is that going to get you entry?
I think it depends on the color. I'm pretty particular on my Chessex.
Oh.
I have a lot of Chessex dice over here.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
All right here.
I will say I have some dice sets over here. Like it depends on what it is.
Let's go with like a golden yellow.
I'm a silver girly, so I don't know.
That might not cut it. Okay.
cut it.
Obviously something like a gemstone dice.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Like
Okay.
yeah.
What about like your favorite color of dice, but it wasn't like purchased for you. It was just like found, left on a table, abandoned, and then they just grabbed it. We don't know where it came from. We don't know who had it previously. We don't know what they used it for.
That sounds like a Fae trap. Like, absolutely not. Like, that is a Fae trap awaiting to happen. We do not accept gifts from the Fae. We do not say thank you. Like, no. No. Nope. Whoever picked up that dice is cursed now. I love that for them.
That's why they're trying to give it to you, is they need to pass it on to someone else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm not getting tricked like that. No.
No.
Pirates of the Caribbean cursed gold gambit, not gonna work.
All right.
I like that this podcast is just going to be like, how to bribe Ivy 101. Like,
we try to keep these kind of loose. We have a vague theme. It's more just kind of an excuse to hang out with people, honestly. So, for the Crit Awards themselves, has there been any improvements to the award show after doing it for 1 year? Do you have a format change? Are you going to be bringing on different people to do some of the award announcements? I don't know if you're allowed to tell us all of that yet, but
yeah, I can tell you a little bit. So, the Critical Bard, Omega Jones, is coming back as our host this year, which I'm very excited about. So they'll be hosting, but some of our sponsors and representatives from them are going to be presenting some of the awards. Like, Chaosium has some other fun announcements that I can't talk about because it's not my company. But Chaosium is doing some additional things in addition to presenting. So there's a couple of things there. Yeah, it'll be fun. There's a couple of other people that we're aiming for. Let's put it that way. So yes, there will be additional presenters and people that are hanging out and things like that, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, that's kind of our most massive change.
if you need a weird tentacle outfit person to present an award,
or just a vamp, yeah, you're like, okay, we need
just to vamp.
Yeah, we need 5 minutes.
Like,
we are so.
Oh my god,
good
we need 5 minutes. Help! Yeah.
From the back. We
Dungeon Bros.
We
need
just
5 minutes.
you.
And we just fucking book it. Like, all right,
I would do it too. It's like, where are they? Where are they? Just running up the middle aisle.
So
need my
what's the deal with
comedians.
airline food? Anyway, I wouldn't stoop so low in comedy to bring up the
That's
airline.
how I hope you started. I hope that's how you started off, and you're like, wait, that's stupid, and then you go into something actual. That'd be great.
So the reason we're here is we accepted a bribe from Ivy. It turns out she gave me.
No, this is how I
We
get
now
canceled.
have fake cursed die.
We have this fake curse die. Any takers? Any takers? Anyone?
The amount of people in the crowd that would probably say yes, us, is concerning.
Yes, please.
Like, my first thought was, yeah, I'd take them. Cursed dice? Yes.
Got to do something to
That's just
spice
a
up the
lot.
life.
That says a lot about this community, of the fact of, like, I was like, yeah, like half of them at least would be like, yes, me.
The entire point of the Crit Awards is to highlight the community. So I think it is only appropriate that a bit that is ridiculous to be loved by that community would be more than appropriate.
You're not wrong. Like, I can't argue with you. But also, the amount of people in this space who would be trapped by the Fae is concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on team Bog Mummy take the wheel. Put some Bog Mummy symbols on you. They can't do worse than I'm doing at life.
Great. Well, okay. Well, we found the ratio of which of us is getting taken first. I love that for you.
Mm-hmm.
I would
for 3 months next year. It'll be fine.
It's fine. I would like to imagine that I would be able to resist like a little bit and just kind of be like, this is a little bit, as the kids would say, this is a little bit sus. a little bit
Just a little
sussy.
bit
I don't
sus.
know. I don't know if
Are the
that.
kids still saying that?
I still say sus.
Okay.
I'm not
they?
a kid, so like I don't know. I think so. Maybe. I need to
The
ask my
kid-
adopted child. I need to let me be like, hey, do you still say sus? I need to know.
Is that a thing? I know that. So I coach swimming, and I coach like 13, 14-year-old kids. And I think I have single-handedly been able to remove no cap on God from their lexicon, simply because I would be like, all right, for real, straight up, no God on cap. And I would just like purposefully butcher it and just make it horrible.
Big dad energy.
And then they were like,
Oh,
"Oh my
yeah.
God, stop!" And it stopped entirely. It was great. It's a whole
The one
other.
I hear often is like it just like me for real. Like that's one that my friend group still says when we're like, oh, it just like me for real about random things, which is great. I know that we still say sus. I don't think they use no cap. The only time that we have recently said no cap was, I don't know if you've seen the videos on TikTok of the guys who are like, oh, Your Honor, they said on God, and it's just like the two guys
yeah.
who are going off about like the pretending to
Gen
be your
Z
lawyers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So we were
Okay.
doing that for far too long while I was at a concert. We were having a conversation on Discord where a group of us were just going back and forth of, Your Honor, I'm a Virgo. It was just back and forth the entire time. I'm standing listening to I Don't Know How But They Found Me as this is going on, and I'm just typing back. The person I went with was like, what is going on? And I just like showed them the screen. They're like, you know what? Never mind. Never mind.
You,
Made a mistake.
Your Honor, that's straight cap.
Your Honor.
Their Riz is
Like,
mid at best.
Your Riz is mid. Yep, so that's like the most extent that I use those in is just like those ridiculous kinds of moments.
So now that we've alienated anyone under the age of 18 at this point, well, yeah, that's fine. Maybe not alienate,
Ask your parents' permission before you listen to our podcast.
We mark it as explicit.
This is fine. It's fine.
I'm so far lost into what this was originally.
This is the best thing. This is the best thing. It started off with, if I ever
started
need anybody to
good.
riff at the Crit Awards, I'll just call on you two. And it just, this conversation has just like permanent, like made that a permanent thing in my mind where I'm like, if I needed somebody to riff for 5 minutes, I wouldn't ask my host or any of my presenters. I'm just going to ask the two guys in the audience where I'm like, where are they? Like, I need my riffers.
I'm very large. We'll be hard to miss. Our friend Lincoln is somehow even larger than me, and he will also be very difficult to miss. So it'll all
great.
work out.
He'll just be me in the crowd like, I need you both. I need you guys up here right now.
Okay, okay. Remind me, because I need to do this. I need to get you like a little shadow box frame with a glass pane on it, and then on the inside just put "in case of emergency, break for Dungeon Bros," and then a little hammer so you can just pop it.
I will hang it up like in my background. Like I would do it.
In case of
That would
emergency,
be
call the Dungeon
staple.
Bros. You break it, you pull it out, and it's like just look at us. We're right there. That's
Just
all the
look at
direction.
us.
We're right there. Just look.
That's so funny.
Hold on.
But yeah, I will. We didn't get our same venue this year, but that's fine because the venue that we where they've put us is right around the corner from like the hotel bar and lobbies. So like everybody will be able to congregate there afterwards if they want to. So like mixer wise and like hangout wise, it's gonna be great. I'm really excited. It'll be very social.
What are some of the activities that are going on around the Crit Awards that if anyone's going, they should be made aware of?
Ooh, that's a great question. Ooh, let me check because there's a couple of there's so many cool events at GenCon this year. Part of the reason we didn't get our venue was because they were like, we have had a record number of submissions for panels, which is fantastic.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I love that for them. Like the amount of events is insane. Luckily, our event is on the Thursday, so it's kind of like one of the starter days for everybody, which is kind of it's done intentionally, where everybody kind of gets to start their
Kick off the weekend.
event. Yeah, kick off the weekend. The Diana Jones Awards actually just announced their finalists yesterday, and they are Wednesday night. So it'll be like the Diana Jones Awards, us, and I believe the Ennies is on Friday. So we just get to kind of trickle in with all of our award shows, which is really fun. Let's see, because there's a bunch of cool things happening. Let's double check on the Ennies. I think.
Gotta find the other spreadsheet that has all of the events on it.
Be real great if she hadn't just named the sheets really cryptically. Like, don't click on this one as holding a demon.
Cryptidly.
Cryptidly.
Yeah.
Cryptidly.
So
It's just one's named Wendigo, one's named Skinwalker.
yeah.
Honestly, that's... Wait, you guys don't name your spreadsheets, please? Hold on, am I the weird one?
I believe it's labeled 2024 budget.
Just all of our spreadsheets are labeled 2024 budget
2024 budget. 24.
Yeah, every single one. I
Quote
know
unquote
there's
tax returns 1997.
I know. Okay, there is a cool thing that I just think this is cool, and neat. Let me double check when they're happening. They're sold out, I think, but like as a group, this is really cool. We obviously GenCon has all level of nerd and things like that. Mm-hmm. But some of the where are they? Oh yeah, there it is. So the Indianapolis Fencing Club. I don't know if you guys know what HEMA is, but it's the historical fencing. Yeah, they are doing
European medieval or martial arts.
Exactly. Yeah, so they're doing a couple of classes, which is really cool. So I just think that that's neat. So if you want to go check out the fencing clubs, I think they're really cool as just a fun hobby to get into.
Isn't some Critter Ward staff doing a live play thing?
We're doing two. One of them we're still waiting on a room because they're so busy, like with the panel submissions. But yeah, Sir Pfeffers, who is our head of security, is doing a one shot, and their crew is going to be fantastic. It's going to be such a funny group of people. It's Quincy's Tavern. It's our board member Fish Finley. It's Vex Wild. It's Offbeat Outlaw, and it's Ben Brainerd.
That's a good group.
So it's going to be a ridiculous group. So that'll be Pfeffer's one shot. Then we're also doing a Call of Cthulhu game. And some of our other board members and things like that will be playing on that one. And then we're doing a Q&A of do's and don'ts for people that are starting out as DMing. Pfeff is running that with a couple of other TTRPG creators as well, including Endeavorance, which is fun that we're adding him into our group. Spinks, who is Circle DM, is going to be doing that, and Offbeat Outlaw and Ben Brainerd as well. I think they're looking for one more for that one. But yeah, so Endeavorance is a cool one that we're a friend of ours that we're adding into the mix, and yeah, it'll be really fun, along with our minority representation in TTRPGs that Fish is doing. So we're doing 5 events.
That's
so.
Just a couple. It's fine. It's not a big deal. No stress. Stress level 0. No stress.
0. What are you talking about?
0 stress whatsoever.
I was not up till 2 a.m. this morning. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. We're fine. Yeah. Yeah.
This has just gone completely off the rails.
That's
which
fine.
This is of our 5 bonus actions that we've done since branding it bonus action. Now 2 of them have just gone completely off the rails. The first one was with the bearded GM, and we just kind of basically just spent an hour riffing about nonsense. So
I love that.
All good things. So at this point,
Sure.
I feel like I've mostly exhausted my list of various things that I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
Do you have any? You've mentioned we've gotten a couple of the little secrets. Are there any other little secrets that we can be made aware of?
Oh, it's a great question.
AJ and State of Decay is probably
That's pretty big.
That's a very big secret.
Yeah. That hasn't been announced yet. So, yeah, you know what? I've got one more for you. You can have one more. I've got one more. So, our little mascot Critty, our little adorable Critty, who we love very dearly, that small bird Lex drew for us. We actually have 3D models of him, and one of them will be being made public, or the STL file will be available, so you can purchase it and have your own little Critty if you want him.
Yes.
So that's something. He's very, very cute. We're very excited to release him, so that way people can start printing and painting their own little dragon Critties. So,
well, yeah. we have a D&D game that we're playing in that just started recently. We already fought a dragon. We probably are going to need a couple more dragons, so one of them might as well be Critty.
May as well.
We need to get the 3D printer working.
Send it over to somebody who's actually, I do have a buddy. You have a buddy who's getting into 3D printing, and so he's like, hey, if you got any models, he's like, yeah, any models you want me to print? I'm like, sure.
We know a guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I am the guy who knows a guy.
I'm the guy who knows a guy who probably knows another guy.
Yeah.
You gotta have a guy for everything.
My people will talk to your people, and they'll get back to my people about their people, and our people will just be people. Fair?
People will just be people. Yeah.
Are we all on the same page there?
Yeah.
About being people? I can't assure you.
I'm just my own people. It's whenever I say my people will contact your people, it's just me messaging you later. Like, that's it.
Yeah. No, that it's like, oh yeah, I think one time I unironically sent an email from the Dungeon Bros email being like, oh yeah, our people will get back to you, and I think I sent it to Tyler.
I think you sent it. I don't remember who you sent it to, but you sent it from like our TikTok or something,
yes.
DM, and you said our people will contact you, and then you're like, hey, could you contact them? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go on. Yeah, I'll log on to the email.
So you're the guy.
Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm the guy behind the screen keyboard. Yeah,
exactly. You're the guy behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh, I get to say the most obscene shit now and just blame you for it. That's perfect.
Well, I do always sign my emails Sam, bro of the dungeon.
Oh well, and now I know what to sign the emails. This is perfect.
Ivy, I was gonna say now you've ruined it. He's gonna take your signature. Your identity is about to get stolen. Identity theft is not a joke.
Identity theft is not a joke, Ivy. It's serious.
I cannot wait for someone to ask me, how's your day been? And me go, let me tell you about my day. Let me tell you about identity theft and how it's not a joke.
Let me tell you a little bit about the theft of the identity here. It's a very serious crime that will be committed by me.
Yeah. That's what actually happens with those cursed dice, yeah.
Speaking of identity theft, be sure to...
What's your social security number?
No. No.
Well, actually, oh.
I mean...
You're like, wait, hold on.
Take note. I was going to ask, do you know what you are wearing for the Crit Awards yet, so I can get that exact thing and then also wear it, and then one of us will have to go home and change.
Ooh, actually, the thing is that
I could
have...
just be
Ivy. We'll just switch identities entirely. It'll be great. How very great old one of us. Fit right in with the theme. Yeah, no, I have a couple of ideas that I am working. I think the funniest part of you saying like one of us would have to go home and change is that I do have two like mesh like gowns that are the exact same, that one of them I'm adding accessories onto. And so the idea of I have two, like one of us we could just both wear them, and that's really funny.
Ivy, as flattered as I am that you think I could fit into anything that you would wear, my dimensions are just slightly different.
But it would be really funny though.
That would be a great bit, and I would happily partake in that.
I love a good bit. I love a good commit to the bit. Like, really.
We have prided ourselves on the ability to find a bit
and
commit to the bit for as long as it makes sense. And then a little bit longer, then we stop the bit. Anyway, thank you, Ivy, so much for coming to talk a little bit more about the Crit Awards.
I love coming on and talking to you both.
You're welcome here any and every time, girl.
You say that, but then I'll never leave. Like, I'm going to be in your walls now. This is how I tricked you. I am Faye. I've been in your walls this whole time, actually. I'm so sorry.
Shit. Sorry, I just had to check. I just had to check. Okay, well, All right, we need to get a drywall saw now. We need to start clearing the walls at this point.
All right, well, we got to do what we got to do.
All right, let's get the cat, actually. She'll probably... Where the fuck is the
You say that, but I'll just keep them. That'll be me and the cat in the wall.
You cannot have the cat.
What are you going to do? Well, if you give me the cat in the wall, I'm going to keep the cat.
You're not getting the cat.
Sounds like a you problem. Like...
Well, I thank you for coming on to this episode of Bonus Action, a Duels and Manadork supplement podcast. If you want to listen to the regular podcast, you can get them a week early, ad-free on Patreon, patreon.com/The Dungeon Bros. You can get them free later on free feeds everywhere. This one's going to be free immediately. This is a great conversation. Not a lot, like a little bit of crit awards, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But Ivy,
blast your socials real quick.
Where can people find you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ivy. I'm Gamer the Girl everywhere else that you can potentially find me on the internet. When I'm not on the Gamer the Girl account, you can find me over on the Crit Awards account. And when I'm not on the Crit Awards account, you can find me on the Rolling for Charity account, of which I'm the social media and marketing manager for. So it just depends on the day of the week. Well, if you can't find me there, stop looking.
If you can't find her there, she's in our walls. Leave her alone.
I'm in your walls.
The phone buzzing is giving away her location.
Exactly. Like, please stop messaging me. Yeah, that's where you can find me all across the internet. I do a bunch of charity games. I DM. I do a bunch of things. So you just kind of have to follow me, and it kind of depends on the week. So, yeah, this will be me just dreaming of spreadsheets for a while. So,
all right. If you are going to GenCon, please go get your event ticket for critawards.com. You'll be able to vote
at. Say hi.
Ooh.
Like, if you see me, say hi. Like,
yes.
Yeah, I always love seeing new people. So if you see me, you just yell my name. I probably will turn around.
Tell Ivy we sent you.
Yeah,
unless you have
unless
you have the Fey dice.
Unless you have Fey dice, then I'm telling you no.
Then don't connect our names to that situation at all, please.
If people start offering me Fey dice now because of the two of you, I'm gonna laugh really hard though.
Perfect.
Really hard. I'm gonna put them all in a jar and then give them to you guys. Here you go. Here's your Fey dice.
We can't accept. You know, it's too generous of a gift.
Right.
With no ramifications whatsoever. You have until July 7th to vote at critawards.com once the nominations are made live on. And hopefully by then Ivy will be very well rested and a decidedly smaller number of spreadsheets, maybe? Maybe a consolidated spreadsheet? You never know. You never know. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we skedaddle on out of here?
I don't think so. Thank you guys for having me on. Like I said, I'd love coming on and talking to you both. So
of course, you are welcome here any and every time. Yeah.
All right.
And with that being said,
this has been us. In the meantime, peace out.